everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been such a long time. It is right now the 1st of November, and I think my last stream was probably in April of the same year. What happened was that I just took all these exams. So I had 3 exams: French, German, Italian, and you'll probably be pleased to know that I was #1 in all my exams. I will upload my certificate sometime later. I will do that, but yeah, so I got really exhausted and I was like, I just needed a break from studying. And although my German lessons actually started in July, and the Italian course still hasn't begun. That'll start next month, so I'm gonna do those as well. But yeah, I was just kind of tired for a while. So I'm just gonna check real quick if I am streaming right now, because I have changed my device and it's a couple things I've modified. So I'll just check real quick right now, see if this is in fact streaming or not. I guess it's not streaming, but I am recording, so I will have. Okay, it's not showing up right now, but I'm hoping that. We'll probably just have to wait for a couple seconds because I'm not sure how this is going. Maybe I haven't selected the right setting, so let me just check real quick. Okay, well, it is streaming. Somehow I don't really have the link. But okay, that looks good. So I'm just gonna switch back over. Right. So as I was saying, my German course began in July. So it's been a while. It's been what, I don't know, 4 months or something. August, September. Yeah, it's been 4 months. And what they're doing in the B2 course, so I'm doing the B2 course now. And in the B1 exam, what I saw was that now they didn't give us like, a very detailed mark sheet, right? What they gave us was just like we had 4 papers, and plus we had an oral exam as well. So they just gave us like a general score, like not a question by question thing, and I was really looking forward to that kind of thing because, we had so much to write in the exam. But anyway, I got like 91, 92 out of 100 and almost everything, even oral exams. So yeah, that was good. Right. So the B2 course is, we are using a new set of textbooks. So last year, I mean, in A1, A2, and B1, we had Netzwerk, which was great. I loved, those books. But of course, Netzwerk only goes up to B1. And for this year, we've got Aspekte neu, Aspekte neu B1 plus, and Aspekte neu B2. So, yeah, I was like confused. Why do we have B1, so-called B1 plus, and then we have B2 as well? So this year we have 2 textbooks really, which is a lot of work. And in case you find my yapping boring, you can just skip ahead, you can fast forward. But I just thought it was important because I don't know how you're studying, right? I don't know what kind of things they're doing at your language school, or if you're self-studying, because it's not just like it was an A1, A2, B1. It's not the same. And this is partly because in this whole B1, B2 kind of area, there's just so much content, right? There's so many skills, not so much new grammar, not so much, but there's just so much content, so much in terms of vocabulary, in terms of themes, etc. So B1, I get kind of confused now. I say B1 and then I say B1. Okay, so B1 plus is kind of this in-between stage, right? Where you're finished B1, but they need to kind of prepare you to be able to do B2 well, if that makes any sense. So if you are using the Aspekte neu books, then of course this series is going to be useful for you. And I want to try and get this done soonish because of course we have the B2 books. In fact, they just in my university, they just finished B1 plus. So what I'm about to start now, they've already finished. We've already done these lessons in school. And we've already begun with B2, the B2 book. So hopefully by like, I don't know, January or something, I'll start with B2 as well. I mean, start live streaming. But yeah, I just wanted a short explanation, like why B1 plus? What is this weird thing? Because, for a while I thought it was just a waste of time. But then I talked to a few people and they explained that it's a good idea if you kind of revise and reinforce things you learned at the B1 stage. So here's the book. I'll just go over here and I'll show you. This is the book that we're using. This is Aspekte neu, B1 Plus. You can find it, any local bookstore will have it. So this is the first chapter. Now, you'll notice that in almost every course book, well, at least it was the same way in Netzwerk, we have this kind of thing where they give you a couple pictures and they ask you to write something about it. So what I realized is we don't get things like this in the exam. Like, I don't get a question like this in the exam, right? So I'm not going to do it in the live stream, not because I don't like practicing my skills, no. Just because from an exam point of view, it's, kind of a waste of time. Again, I'm talking from an exam point of view. Because I personally, what I do is I spend a lot of time online. I consume a lot of media, whether that's podcasts, music, sometimes movies, often YouTube, documentaries and other things like that. And I also spend a lot of time just talking generally to people on Reddit. So I get a lot of interaction that way. I get a lot of consumption that way. So I don't really need to do this. Like, oh, just, okay, ich bin seit 3 Jahren geschieden, alleinerziehende Mutter, blah, blah. And then you have to continue the sentence and write like, I don't know, 50 words or something. I'm not going to do it. You can do it. It's good practice in general. But outside of just my lessons and the live streaming, I do, I'm in touch with the language a lot, so I don't feel the need to do it. In case you're not, which is often the case for many people, it's still a good idea to try and write something, but this is of course going to depend. I mean, I might think that, okay, she talks about how she loves Berlin, that's what she was born, and then she uses trotzdem, so you think, okay, well, that's a contradiction, so maybe she's thinking of moving somewhere else. So that's what you would do. I'm just going to do exercises because I feel like from an exam point of view, again, if getting a high score is important to you as it is to me, then you'll want to use your time efficiently as well and not like, bore yourself. Because sometimes, even though you like doing something, you might just feel bored. And for the longest time, I was kind of delaying doing these live streams because I would always think, oh, when I start, there's this whole thing and I write this whole thing and it never comes in the exam, right? Never. You get questions like text inhalt and, you've got headings and stuff and all kinds of stuff, right? But you don't get this kind of stuff. And so I've decided to skip this. And, in terms of like, okay, let's say, for example, vocabulary. What I personally enjoy doing is flashcards. Now, this depends from person to person. I like doing it, you may not. So that's what works for me. I also read a lot, books as well. In fact, I just began reading this book called Good Gig in Nordwind. It's actually in this course book, they've added a little reference, and so I got it. It's actually pretty cool, but yeah, I'm like halfway through the book. Okay, so a whole bunch of stuff. What we'll do is, I'm just gonna start from here instead. So lesen Sie die Kurztexte, über welche Themen sprechen die Leute? Notieren Sie. Okay, what themes do you see? Okay, the first one is, oh, that's B. Okay, why is A is okay, family, because she's a mom, she's got a kid. B is okay, Heimat, Heimatland, not Heimatland, rather just Heimat. So you could write that over there. Here, for example, Sport talks about her favorite football team. Zu Hause sprechen wir nur Arabisch, allerdings bin ich in Deutschland geboren, haben zwei Muttersprachen. Okay, Sprachen, Muttersprachen. Say Philia, and you read that and you figure, okay, what's the main theme or topic, right? Here, he used to live eine Kleinstadt, viele Jahre hier gelebt, gearbeitet, yeah, vielleicht maybe he wants to move to a bigger home. So Wohnungen oder Wohntypen, something like that, Wohnarten, something like that. Right? This is kind of like a pointless exercise. Arbeiten Sie in Gruppen. Of course, you're not going to do that when you're self-studying. Introduce yourself. This is like something you'll get in the exam, oral exam. And this is something you always get, so you don't really need to write a text about it. But what I would say is if you are preparing for an oral exam, you know that this, introduce yourself will always be a theme, will always be a topic. So you can just write. You can write that text down, note all the main points you have, and you can kind of just practice that. That helps a lot. Okay, gelebte Träume. Was bedeutet dieser Spruch? Diskutieren Sie. Diskutieren Sie, discuss in class. So you're not going to do that when you're alone. Träume nicht dein Leben. Lebe deinen Traum. There's a song. Lebe deinen Traum. Very boring song, personally. Sehen Sie sich die Fotos an. Welche Träume könnte es hier geben? Again, not really an exam-oriented question. And this is B1, just B1. A little bit, slightly different. So you can kind of skip because, this isn't really, okay, what is it about? Okay, for example, A, what do you see? Let's skip that Auto. And what could it be? It could be, fahren, could be Urlaub. B, this could be Musiker sein oder Sänger sein, Sängerin sein. And this is Fußball, clearly. And then you've got an art. Now, this kind of question is an exam-oriented question, right? Because lesen Sie den Artikel und notieren Sie Stichpunkte in einer Tabelle wie auf der nächsten Seite. And so this is something you would get in an exam. So you need to do questions like these. You cannot ignore these questions because, again, they've got, Übung 1. So they're marking important questions as well. Of course, in terms of learning, everything is important, but learning is much, much more than what you do in a classroom. I would say if you're already at a B1 level, B1, B2, it's high time. Like, don't depend on textbooks. Textbooks, of course, are a very important part, especially if you're taking exams. But you also need to start interacting with local content, native content. You don't have to watch videos and stuff made for learners. That's a big problem. In my B1, in my B2 class, there's still people who, ask the teacher, what kind of content should I consume? Like, am I ready? Am I ready to read a book? Like, that's up to you, isn't it? Why do you need someone's permission? Just go ahead and just read something. Try and watch a video. You have to challenge yourself. In the beginning, it's never easy. Thankfully, though, you got subtitles and all those kinds of things. So, what are you waiting for? That's by far what has helped me a lot is consuming content. I don't study regularly, like studying every day. No, that's not going to happen with me. You can probably tell looking at my upload schedule. But I'm still at the top of my class. And how is that? Right? Because I consume so much native content. I'm not consuming content made for learners. I'm putting myself out there. Yes, it's a struggle. I don't always understand everything. And that's okay. That's normal. That's how we all learned as kids. So, gelebte Träume. What I want to know from you is, now see, generally when I read, I don't read out loud. And my reading speed is, well, you probably guess. You can guess depending on how quickly I speak. And I know that's a bit of an issue. I should slow down. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I slow down because I just feel like I have so much to say, right? And I don't want to slow. When I see a YouTube video and people speak like this, I just get so annoyed. And I have an extension that I've added where I can increase the speed up to whatever, even 10x, 20x. So what I normally do is when a YouTuber is speaking this slowly, I have to increase the speed to 2x, sometimes even 2.5x. Like, that's just how it works for me. But of course I understand that the whole point of this channel is to help people. So let me know what you think. If you want me to slow down, I will do that. Just let me know, yeah, because how else would I know, right? Also, so reading like texts like these. When I read mentally and I read very quickly. Even in class, when we read out loud, the teacher has to tell me, okay, please slow down. We know you can do it, but the others can't. So, would you prefer if I read the whole thing out loud? If you would like that. So I'll just do it this time, right? But you can leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to continue doing that. Or, again, because if I read it out loud, that will definitely take a bit of time. I could do it much quicker if I don't read it out loud. But then again, I want it to be useful for you, right? Because sure, I am studying for myself, but I'm also kind of trying to help you. That's the goal. So yeah, let's just read this text. So okay, gelebte Träume. Der eine hat einen großen Traum, der nächste vielleicht mehrere kleine. Die Träume der Menschen sind so unterschiedlich wie die Menschen selbst. Manche sind realistisch und manche scheinen vielleicht völlig unerreichbar. Es gibt Menschen, die trotzdem nicht aufgeben und plötzlich ist der Lebenstraum ganz nah. Erfolgreich sein als Sängerin, einmal die Nummer 1 in den Charts und Millionen Klicks für den einigen Musikclip im Internet. Davon träumte die 23-jährige Leonie Walter schon als Teenager. Sie nahm Gesangs- und Tanzunterricht und vor ein paar Jahren sah es aus, als würde sich ihr Traum auch erfüllen. Leonie nahm, Leonie nahm an einer Castingshow teil und kam in die vom Fernsehsender zusammengestellte Band. Auf einmal war sie berühmt. Die Band brachte ein Album heraus und die drei jungen Sängerinnen galten als neue Stars am deutschen Pophimmel. Oh, Pophimmel. So pop is of course pop and Himmel is heaven. Oh, that's cool. But Himmel can be sky, right? And stars am deutschen Pophimmel. Stars in the German pop sky. Very cool, interesting expression. Doch der Anfangseuphorie folgte bald die Ernüchterung. Das zweite Album verkaufte sich nur noch mäßig. Die Auftritte wurden immer weniger. Schließlich trennte sich die Band. Im Moment verdiente Leonie ihren Lebensunterhalt in einem Coffeeshop. Meinen Traum habe ich aber trotzdem noch nicht aufgegeben. Ich versuche es einfach weiter. Eine neue Band habe ich auch schon, sagt sie. Der 44-jährige Georg Schröder wuchs in einem kleinen Dorf bei Innsbruck auf. Seine Eltern wollten aus ihm einen Lehrer machen, doch er träumte von der großen, weiten Welt. Nach der Matura hatte er zunächst Geschichte und Völkerstunde studiert, doch dann begann er mit seinen Expeditionen und verwirklichte seinen Traum, die Wüsten dieser Erde kennenzulernen. Ich habe viele Landschaften ausprobiert, aber es war die Wüste, die mich vom ersten Schritt an gefangen genommen hat, berichtet Schröder, der heute als Expert für Abenteuer und Grenzerfahrungen gilt. Profifußballer, das wollte der 38-jährige Matthias Holzner immer werden. Als Kind und Jugendlicher verbrachte er jede freie Minute auf dem Fußballplatz. Er trainierte und trainierte. Und tatsächlich konnte er mit 16 Jahren zu einem großen Verein wechseln. Für ein paar Jahre lief alles wie geplant, aber einen Nachmittag endete alles. Nachdem sich Matthias schwer am Knie verletzt hatte, musste er den Traum vor der Profikarriere schweren Herzens aufgeben. Das war eine schwierige Zeit, aber mit der Unterstützung meiner Familie habe ich meinen Weg gefunden. Matthias machte eine Ausbildung zum Physiotherapeuten und eröffnete später eine eigene Praxis. Aber die Liebe zum Fußball habe ich nie verloren. In meiner Freizeit trainiere ich einer Kindermannschaft und Samstag gehe ich ins Stadion, um meinen alten Verein anzufeuern. That was that. Let me know if you want me to do that all the time for all texts. I don't mind, whatever helps you. And it may even be somewhat helpful just to kind of listen and, get an idea. I probably spoke too quickly, so again, let me know what you think. Great, so wer Traum, Situation früher, Situation jetzt. Okay, so Leonie Traum, Sängerin. So I'm gonna add the text here. Sängerin nahm Gesangs- und Tanzunterricht, Situation jetzt. Sie arbeitet in einem Café. Yep, coffee shop. I don't know why there was coffee shop instead of cafe, but okay, those can be different. Right, so I've got this right here. Leonie, Matthias. No, who was the second person? Georg Schröder. Okay. Schröder. Oh, I should probably change my keyboard to German. There we go. Traum. Lehrer, Geschichte. Hä? What does he even do? Okay, er hat seinen Traum verwirklicht. That's cool. He was the only person who managed to live his dream. Seine Eltern wollten aus ihm einen Lehrer machen. And here you can see what he does. Heute ist er als Experte, heute ist er Experte für Abenteuer und Grenze. Vielleicht ist er ein, what do you call that? Reiseführer. Some, special type of Reiseführer, not just a normal Reiseführer. But yeah, you can call him a Reiseführer in a way. Yeah, we'll just yeah, Experte für Abenteuer und Grenzerfahrung. And he actually gets to live his dream. You know what I would recommend when you're reading online? Maybe I'll make a different video on this. I don't know. Let me know. So when you're on a web page, for example, something like this, right? Duden, and you don't know, oh, what's this word? Just double click on it, and there's many extensions you can use. The one that I use, you just double click and it shows you, everything right here, like not in a different tab, right? Because you copy paste, go to a new tab, paste, Google search, takes so much time, right? So this is much easier, but also if you use a Mac, you can just like, this is Microsoft Edge, but I use Safari, and you can just double click on a word and they have this option where I don't know right now, maybe I'll make another video for, but it's so useful because you just double click on a word, and then what it does is you have lookup, and they have their own like base source from Duden. So you get, oh yeah, exactly like this, exactly like this. Perfect. Okay, so it's like, okay, it doesn't depend on the browser as long as you use a Mac. Of course, it doesn't matter because Windows has a lot of extensions. It's the same thing. It's just a little tiny bit easier. So I double click on this and I click on lookup, right? And it gives me like the whole thing right here. Is it, what kind of, adjective, it's gender, plural forms, if there's, like a verb form that you can make, if there's a different, like, for example, Swiss German, this is okay. And so you got like, the whole thing right here. It's so easy and makes like reading on the internet in a foreign language so much easier. Right. Perhaps you can even add it to like a dictionary or something. There's so many options, but yeah, essentially you have a lot of copy link to highlight. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's get back to Aspekte. This is the second guy, and the third one was Matthias. Okay. And Profifußballer. Whoops. Okay. Er wollte ein Profifußball sein. Er war auch ein Profi, ne? Als Kind, bla bla bla, trainierte. Ein paar Jahre war es ganz okay. Er hat sich am Knie verletzt. Und jetzt, was macht er? Aha. Oh, Praxis. Okay, cool. Ausbildung. Okay. Hat seine eigene Praxis. Ups. Oh, okay. Praxis. Okay. Früher trainierte er jeden Tag. Okay, just making notes, just understanding. This kind of exercise is noting down the most important points. Arbeiten Sie zu dritt, so that is group work. Don't need to do that. Which person do you find the most interesting? This is not an exam question, so we're not going to do that again, because what's the point? But if you were doing like A1, A2 something, at that point, I would probably encourage doing every single exercise. But right now, again, I've got like two. Actually, I've got like 4 books to do, right? Because we have Arbeitsbuch, Kursbuch, right? And we actually even have Intensivtrainer. So Intensivtrainer, Arbeitsbuch, Kursbuch, and that means that there's 6 books that I needed. That's crazy. Anyway, right, so mit den folgenden Zeitformen kann man Vergangenes ausdrücken. Notieren Sie zu jeder Zeitform einen Beispielsatz aus dem Text. So these are the verbs. You got perfect, Präteritum, plusquamperfekt. Perfect is something you learn in A1 actually. Präteritum is something we also have encountered. Plusquamperfekt comes a bit later. In fact, I would get confused all the time. Should I use not like how to recognize plusquamperfekt or perfect, but when to use plusquamperfekt and perfect. So here they want you to look at the text and, write down an example sentence from the text. So this is just copy pasting. Perfect is just hat plus, Präteritum form. So for example, we're just looking for, look for the GE prefix. Räumte is Präteritum. Sie nahm again Präteritum. Sah Präteritum. Nahm Präteritum, kam Präteritum. Einmal war sie berühmt. Die Band brachte. Again, mostly you see that in biographies and stuff like that. They tend to use Präteritum. That's what I'm noticing. Again, anfangs talked about zweite Album kaufte. Wow, you don't see Moment verdient. Präsens, meinen Traum habe ich, meinen Traum habe ich nicht aufgegeben. I haven't given up my dream. Meinen Traum. This is like a quote from her. That's why it's imperfect, huh? Because usually with biographies and stuff like that, you see Präteritum more often than you see perfect. Okay, there's lots of Präteritum. I don't even need to check, like the first one. Sie nahm Gesangsunterricht. Hey, there we go. Well, that was easy. Wann verwendet man welche Zeitform? Ergänzen Sie die Regeln. Okay, so this is like you create your little grammar rule box. Mündlich berichten, meistens perfekt. Of course, I will check the answers. Schriftlich, E-Mails, perfekt, Zeitungsartikel, Romanen, haben und sein. That's Ereignis, das vor einem anderen. Oh yeah, Plusquamperfekt. Plusquamperfekt is when there's like two things happening. Okay. Mündlich ist, I always hear hab, blah, 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 hat, blah, blah, blah. So you see, that's why reading and listening is so important, because you're like, oh, people always do this when they're speaking, right? So that's how I know, not because I know the grammar rule, just because I've heard people talk a lot. Okay, haben und sein. And you can, of course, find answers for this. This is page 13. Okay, let me just check. Okay, perfekt. Okay, Präteritum, okay, Zeitungsartikel und Romanen. Okay, Präteritum. Okay, that's good to know because I didn't know that. Great, so we're gonna put that in here. So that would be Zeitungsartikel, that would be Präteritum. Okay. Okay, haben und sein is always. Oh, haben und sein oder. That's also perfect, isn't it? 13. Let me check again. That should be haben und sein. Well, when I see haben und sein is perfect. Great, I was right. Okay, great. Because, again, this is like B1 plus. I want to ensure that from Anfang an, I do the right thing. Okay, perfect. Great. So it's mostly perfect with haben und sein, of course. Emails as well. Mündlich as well. It's only when you're writing a romance story or a biography, and then you use Präteritum. So Präteritum isn't used that much except when you're, writing a newspaper article or, you've got a book or something. And then you've got Plusquamperfekt for two things, two activities. Okay. Welchen Traum haben Sie sich schon erfüllt? Welche Träume hatten Sie als Kind? Was ist jetzt Ihr großer Traum? Sprechen Sie zu zweit, berichten Sie. This is sprechen Sie. You can, however, do this, as a writing exercise. That being said, you don't get questions like this in an exam, but you may get a question like this in the oral exam. That is entirely possible. You might get asked a question, so that's a good thing. So what I'll do is maybe I will write this. Let me just check. Welche. Okay, let me see if I can copy text. Okay, so that's not possible. Just whoops. Not okay. A good text to write. Okay, that over here. Whoops. Okay, that's not good. I'll have to check. Where's the image? Right, so I'll copy that over here once again. Okay. Oops. Oh, even if I... Hmm, that's weird. Okay, so copying isn't as easy as it was. I'll just need like a minute or so. Wait, okay. Oh, this is cool. So apparently I can just copy text from a screenshot. That is cool. Great. Okay. So this is question 5, but I'm just gonna like 1. Okay, welchen haben Sie schon erfüllt? Okay, das Kind. What is oh okay. Are these supposed to be okay, Smile? Okay, so here you have some examples. Smile hat schon als Kind davon geträumt, einmal nach Nepal zu reisen. Wollte schon immer, da. Okay, so you make some kind of it's not a huge text, okay. Hey. Okay, which dreams have you already fulfilled? There is something about verbs here, right? Because which dreams have you already fulfilled? That would be perfect. Or maybe even if you create a sentence where you say, I wanted to do this and then I did this, so that would be Plusquamperfekt, right? Or even was ist hat geträumt, right? Because that's past. Wollte nach dem. Okay, was ist jetzt Ihr großer Traum? Right, okay, let me get to writing. More writing, less talking. Okay, let me do the first one, right? Because I get so sidetracked. Anyway. Okay, what dreams have you already fulfilled? Well, you can't say, wow, you really need to think about this. And so that's why it's good to do it right now instead of doing it, in the exam hall. Imagine that, if you don't practice for a question like this and then you have to think about it at the last minute, that would really be problematic. Okay, so, welchen I really have to think about this. There's so many little things that doesn't. Okay, okay, you can't talk about unfulfilled dreams. Okay, okay. I always wanted unlimited internet. I know that sounds weird, but als Kind, ich Computerfreak und wollte mein eigenes, oops, we had this huge, box computer which everybody had, but I wanted my own, and I wanted like, super fast internet as well. Like 25 years ago, it was
It's 4:30.
It was not a thing. Als Kind war ich ein total Computerfreak und wollte meinen eigenen Computer. Und dazu blitzschnell zu einer blitzschnell Empfang is probably der. Whoops. Wrong language. Oh, it's okay. Wait, I knew it. Okay, so ein, dazu einen blitzschnell. Now, would this be correct? I don't know. Einen blitzschnell. Okay, ein totaler Computerfreak. Okay, great, because you need the adjective ending over here. So what I do is when I see a mistake, you have to have a way to mark it. So I would just, highlight it some color, like maybe like this. Yeah. Well, no, that looks like it's wrong. So I'll just highlight it yellow. So I know, okay, computer freak. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. I'll keep it that way. Um, so you need some way to keep track of mistakes that you commonly make, right? Einen Blitzschnellen. Okay, great. Okay, Blitz. Gonna highlight that again. So I know that, okay, this is something I have to be aware of. Huh? Heute habe ich einen unbegrenzten, ups, heute habe ich zwei Laptops und auch einen unbegrenzten Internetempfang, aber ich habe den Bug verloren. This is very casual, Bug verloren, so you don't use it in writing. Maybe use something else, aber ich habe keine Lust. Viele Stunden. 4 Stunden im Internet. Oder ja. Oh yeah, that would be an ending. Because ich habe Akkusative and then Empfang is masculine, so einen, and then of course this also has to be the same way, but I made a mistake, so I'm gonna highlight that. Okay. If 13-year-old me knew that I have this kind of setup, I'll be so happy, but now I don't care. Funny. Welchen Traum, welchen Traum hatten Sie als Kind? I think it's kind of like, ja, was ist jetzt Ihr großer Traum? Ich wollte auch Fremdsprachen beherrschen, aber damals gab es nicht so viele Ressourcen wie heute. Deshalb bin ich I'm gonna see if I can, instead of typing, if I can just. But that wouldn't be such a good idea because you need typing practice. But I am really quick at typing. I just somehow just get tired. So let me just check. Deshalb bin ich. Okay, so it looks like I can't use voice type here. That's weird. Shouldn't be the case, but okay. Right, deshalb bin ich sehr stolz, dass ich viele. Ja. Okay, endoglation is something I still have not mastered, I'll be honest with you. I just guesstimate, which is not a good idea. But we do have the topic coming up, so I'll get to it when I get to it. I don't bother myself with little mistakes, honestly. And I, again, still do really well, so that's ish. Viele, how many languages? Okay, like 4, okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's like, oh, what, okay, what's your, okay, Alter. Damals gab es nicht so viele Ressourcen wie heute, deshalb bin ich sehr stolz, dass ich 4 Fremdsprachen gelernt habe. Nicht 4, sorry, 3. Ja, better. Sounds better. Ja. Okay, okay, was ist jetzt Ihr großer Traum? Äh, ich würde gern, hm, okay, well, you could actually say ich würde gern, Fragt man einen Partner, nicht habe. Den ich noch nicht habe, oder? Okay, ja, okay, den. Alright. I kind of get that, okay, something is missing, but I just need, okay, great. Ich habe einen großen Kinderwunsch, aber dafür braucht man einen Partner, den ich noch nicht habe. What else? Ich würde gern meine, okay, Kenntnisse ist feminine, okay, meine Fremdsprachenkenntnisse. Whoa, okay, what happened? Okay, Fremdsprachenkenntnis. Okay, that's interesting. So I'll again highlight that as well. Ich würde gerne meine Fremdsprachenkenntnisse verbreiten. Is that the right term? Kenntnis. So what you can do is now there are at this stage, what becomes important is that you know noun and verb combinations, right? So Duden really helps you with that. So all you have to do is go up to Duden, Kenntnis, okay, okay, and you know it's funny because knowledge is not like a countable noun in English, so I often get confused. Right, so we've got Kenntnis, which is, you know, knowledge of something. I'll show you right here. Knowledge, right? And if you scroll all the way down, what you'll see is there's a small box like this, related words. Kenntnis is a noun. So what you need to do is look up, deselect substantive is noun, adjectives, of course, adjective and verben. Okay, so which verbs do we often use with Kenntnis, right? So Kenntnis, verfügen. Now, I don't know what, for example, verfügen and ziehen, I don't know what these mean. So what do? I just do the whole thing right there. So name and take, okay, we know that already. And ziehen is revoke, okay, appropriately divide, acquire, possess. Can you, Okay, so I guess vermitteln, convey, possess, erlangen, acquire. Okay, so verbreiten, maybe that's not a thing. But it, you know, conveys the message I need, so that's okay. You don't always have, you know, 100% fixed combinations, right? So if you would again, meine Frau, maybe you can just, you know, say verbessern. That's always a safe option. Makes perfect sense. Ich würde gerne meine Fremdsprachenkenntnisse verbessern und vielleicht in der Zukunft werde ich, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not so much. So we'll just put that aside for now. That is good enough. So the main thing is you get to think about it, right? And when you write, you also know like what kind of mistakes do I make, especially if you're using a word processor like, you know, Google Docs. It's free, it's easy, it's simple. So that helps you. You can't depend on it though, right? Because again, it's a machine. It's good to have like a teacher or something, but again, nobody checks these texts. We have other, you know, texts. For example, in class, we had to write an email. So this was just a few days ago. So we get texts like these that we write in class, and then the teacher checks. So yeah. Right. Anyway, so going back. So this is done in aller Freundschaft. Welche Aussage passt für Sie am besten zum Thema Freundschaft? In fact, I wrote an essay on this theme. Gute Freunde erkennt man in schwierigen Zeiten. Beim Geld hört die Freundschaft. Oh, what do you do here? Super. Okay, this is group discussion. What do you think? I mean, you have, you know, these quotes. Richtig gute Freunde hat man nur zwei oder drei. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, welche Eigenschaften, Character Traits sind Ihnen bei einem Freund oder einer Freundin wichtig? Kreuzen Sie 5 Eigenschaften an und vergleichen Sie. Okay, so which of these character traits are really important to you in a friend? Zuverlässig, oh, that's weird, I could. Zuverlässig is kind of like trustworthy, ehrlich, honest, hilfsbereit, ready to help you, höflich, polite, gut aussehend, good looking, witzig, funny, großzügig, generous. Verantwortungsbewusst, responsible, sportlich, sporty, gebildet, educated, tolerant, open-minded, tolerant, offen, again open-minded, ehrgeizig, ambitious, unternehmungslustig, always ready to do things, verständnisvoll, understanding, verschwiegen. Verschwiegen, I think, is somebody who can keep a secret. Loyal is, of course, loyal. And then you write a little text if you want to. We have done this, in fact. I'll pull up the original. Let me show you the text that I wrote. And it was corrected, but only briefly. That's weird. Um, I wrote this text all the way back in July. In fact, I'll show you. Thema Freundschaft. Freundschaft. I wrote an entire Aufsatz. Would you believe that? An Aufsatz is, of course, an essay. I'll show you. I'll show you. Oops, looks like I got logged out. So now I can't show you. That's weird. Okay, well, just a second. I'm pulling up the link so I can show you my essay that I wrote. And of course, writing generally does take a fair bit of time. So that's something. But yeah, maybe I'll create, I don't know, like a public link or something, and you can see my texts and stuff if you want to. Great, Grafikbeschreibung is also something that we did, and then we have Thema. Whoops, couldn't authenticate. Okay, well, let me just log in to Google real quick. Okay, that shouldn't happen, but it did, right? Forgot password. I'm not very good at this thing. Okay, great. Now, oh, come on. Okay, looks like I need to log into a different account. So just give me a second. Yours for which one is this? I'm so confused. What I'll do is I'll just log into. You can like skip ahead if you're watching the video. If you're watching the live, well, you'll have to stick with me for a while. I need to log in and I forgot my password. Okay, great. Oh, there's actually 2 people watching. Wow, that's very cool. Thanks for watching. This is yeah, I'll just it says log in. I'm gonna show you my essay, so just hang on. I wrote this beautiful essay and yeah. Okay, so it says confirm. It'll probably take like I don't know, 2 or something minutes. Ah, this thing is so slow. Okay. Yes, it's me, and now they want me to reply to an email. Okay. It'll take just like a minute or two. It'll be super quick. Meanwhile, I'll just show you my Grafikbeschreibung while I'm logging in. Okay, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, so you just bear with me. Right, my verification code is here. Great. Okay, so I'll just log in real quick. 9. Oh, that's nice. If you're watching live, you can just like leave a comment down below or something. If there's any changes you would like, or if there's something you would like me to do or not like me to do, that's also useful. Okay, so let me see. Do I have access now? This is so ridiculous. Why don't I have access? This doesn't make sense. Okay. Anyway, I'll show you the. Okay, this is like not working out. Hold on. Let me see if I. This is a document, but okay. Well, which because I have like 2, maybe 3 different Google accounts, and so I always get confused because I'm always thinking. Anyway, let's try another one. Man, I don't know my password. Is that weird? I hope that works. Okay, that's the wrong password. Right, I'm just gonna click on forgot. Now I get a verification code. Okay, great. I'm gonna get a okay. What I'll do is I won't waste your time. I'll show you Grafikbeschreibung. This is something we did a long time ago. There you go. So this is the image, and this is what I wrote. And so it's kind of like when I think about how much I normally write, I feel like this is a little bit on the smaller side, personally for me. But yeah, there's also another. Okay, there's the other text. I'm just logging right in and showing you. Why am I getting an incoming call? That's weird. Anyway, I'll do that later. Great. Okay, now I should be able to log in. I swear I should be able to log in now. I want to show you my essay. I worked so hard on it. Ah, here it is. I finally got it. I finally got it. Just a second. There we go. Is it? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I need to. Ah, there we go. So that's my essay. So we have like an introduction and a few things, a few paragraphs, just basically what do you think about friendship. So that's, yeah, this is a nice this is a nice little big text. Enge Freunde sind Gold wert. All die Probleme der Welt kann man mit einem guten, lebenslangen Freund ertragen, wenn man solches Glück hat. Ich muss das Wort Glück hier benutzen, da es gar nicht einfach ist, einen treuen Freund zu finden. Obwohl es das Internet gibt, ist es heutzutage schwieriger, Freunde zu finden. Ja klar, man kann seinen Bekanntenkreis verbreiten, aber auf einem Schirm zu gucken, auf Facebook zu chatten und so weiter, ist meiner Meinung nach nicht genug, um eine gute Freundschaft aufzubauen. Man soll Leute treffen, Aktivitäten zusammen machen und sich über die Jahre kennenlernen. Nur dann ist es möglich zu wissen, ob jemand wirklich ein guter Freund ist. If you want me to read, just let me know. If not, that's also okay. I get so yeah, just basically what do you think of, friendship, friends and all that good stuff? So what I was told is, oh, hello, Irshad, wingsuit. Hi, Irshad. Okay, what I'll do is I cannot, okay, so I don't have the tab open, but hi, Irshad. That's great that you've left a comment. Hello, I hope you find the video useful. And if you have any comments, just let me know. Yeah, Irshad, okay, great. And if you would like me to make other videos like grammar explanation or something else, or something that maybe you don't understand and you would like me to help you with, or any suggestions, really, I'm open to suggestions. I would be grateful. So yeah, this was the essay. Now what I was told by the teacher is that grammatically and word choice wise it's fine. I mean, not fine, it's actually very nice. I'm always at the I don't mean to toot my own horn, but whenever my assignments are corrected, they hardly find like a few errors, right? So that's nice, but I've worked hard to be there. Right, so what I was told is my writing style is a little bit like, for example, Naya, Yakla, Cookin, and these kinds of words are more casual, more informal. Now, I didn't know that they expected us to write in a formal style. So I would just write in the same style that I see people online writing it, right? Because a lot of native speakers use this all the time. Cookin, Yakla, Naya, Tia. They use stuff like that all the time. So I was like, okay, yeah, it just became a part of my vocabulary. So that is great for speaking, or, if you're writing an email to a friend, right? Or if you're writing an SMS or something like that. You do get questions like that in the exam. But otherwise, yeah, if they say write a text, yeah, schreiben Sie einen Text. If you get that kind of question, just stick to the safer side. Yeah, just write in a formal style. Don't use words of an informal register. You know what's funny is I tell my students that all the time. So my day job, of course, is I train people to take English exams like IELTS and CELPIP. And so I know very well that in an exam, you have to have, depending on what kind of question you have, of course, all these things are important. When it comes to writing, I feel like I have so much to say, and then I end up spending a lot of time writing. So I need to like bring that down. So that's my essay. Yeah, so this is the other part. You can see the other paragraphs. You can pause the screen and you can have a look and, read, taking your time. Great, so we've got this Freundschaft stuff, and then we've got Hören. Hören Sie den ersten Abschnitt eines Radiobeitrags. In welcher Reihenfolge wird über die folgenden Themen gesprochen? Nummerieren Sie. Okay, so I've done this a little bit, but I'm not too sure if it's correct. So what I'll do is I'll do it again properly this time. So, okay. And this is, which book is this? Kursbuch. I always start with the Kursbuch. Arbeitsbuch is easy enough to do actually. So yeah, B1 Kursbuch. Which one is Aspekte? Audio. Give me a minute, I'll just pull up the audio. Kapitel 1. Lehrbuch. Perfect. Okay, great. So I've got let me get my
What are you doing?
So there's an ad. Okay, so finally the ads have stopped. Thank God for that. Okay, right, so I will just play the audio. In case you cannot hear it, just let me know. Because again, I have a new setup, so I'm streaming from the new setup for the first time. Right, let's see. I'm gonna play the audio now. And here we go. Is it playing?
Kapitel 1. Leute heute. Modul 2. Aufgabe 2a.
Gemeinsam durch dick und dünn. Gute Freunde zu haben, ist vielen Menschen wichtig. Ein guter Freundeskreis macht uns selbstbewusst, psychisch stabil und optimistisch, stärkt unser Herz-Kreislauf-System und die Abwehrkräfte. Freundschaften sind aber ganz individuell und kulturell verschieden. In der deutschen Sprache unterscheiden wir zum Beispiel zwischen Freunden und Bekannten.
Bekannte trifft man eher zufällig. Eventuell verabredet man sich auch mal auf einen Kaffee, spricht über dies und das, zum Beispiel über den nächsten Urlaub, aber eher nicht über Probleme. Dafür haben wir unsere Freunde. Viele Leute haben auch spezielle Freunde für bestimmte Aktivitäten. So spielt man mit dem einen Freund vielleicht regelmäßig Tennis und geht mit dem anderen ins Kino. Werden andere Interessen und Hobbys entwickelt, kommen meistens auch andere Freunde hinzu. Und manche Freunde sieht man mehrmals in der Woche. Andere trifft man dagegen nur alle 6 Monate.
Den Kindergartenfreund, der uns das ganze Leben lang begleitet, gibt es allerdings nicht mehr so oft. Ist unsere Gesellschaft dafür zu schnelllebig geworden? Freunde begleiten uns oft nur durch bestimmte Lebensphasen. Beim Übergang von einer in die nächste Phase kommt es häufig auch zum Austausch der Freunde. So trennen sich die Wege oft nach dem Ende der Schulzeit, wenn unterschiedliche Ausbildungswege eingeschlagen werden oder man wegen des Studiums in eine andere Stadt zieht.
Und dann gibt es natürlich noch all unsere Freunde in den sozialen Netzwerken, wo es für manche ein Statussymbol ist, möglichst viele Freunde zu haben. Wer viele virtuelle Freunde hat, gilt als beliebt und in. Plötzlich wird öffentlich über sehr Privates gesprochen bzw. gepostet. Dinge, die man vielleicht früher nur wenigen anvertraut hat. Andererseits ist es ja auch toll, dass man durch das Posten von Neuigkeiten immer weiß, was gerade so im Leben seiner Freunde los ist, ohne dass man sich ständig sieht. Und man kann durch diese Plattformen auch alte Freunde wiederfinden und mit anderen, die weiter weg wohnen, in regelmäßigem Kontakt bleiben.
Modul 2. Aufgabe 2c.
Okay, so we're done with that. Wait, okay, so that's that. And then wählen Sie ein Thema aus 2a und berichten Sie kurz über Ihre Erfahrungen. So choose one theme from this exercise. Freunde für bestimmte Phasen oder Aktivitäten, warum Freunde wichtig sind, Freunde in Online-Netzwerken, Unterscheidung Freunde und Bekannte. So these are themes, and you pick one theme and you write about your own experiences. This is a good topic, so I will write about that. I would just like to see how many I've got. Oh, okay, so we got 1, we got 2, we got 3 pages, we got 4 pages, 5, 6. Whoa, okay, 6. Great. Okay, so I will and a half. Okay. What I'll do is maybe I'll just like pause here, possibly. Because I've done like 3 pages, right? Not too bad. And again, this was just like the start, so the next video will definitely be super useful. I'm just getting into things, so I might be a bit slow in the beginning. But yeah, I will probably continue this because doing, for example, this is the Kursbuch or Lehrbuch. They call it Lehrbuch. We also have the Arbeitsbuch, which it's just exercises. There's no stuff like this. It's just audio exercise and writing exercises. So for some reason, I find that is much quicker for me. But yeah, look at that huge difference. Ein Freund is just someone, but mein Freund is a loved one. That's something that, I saw a post online where people were confused because one was saying meine Freundin. She didn't actually mean meine Freundin in this sense. She meant it in this sense, but she was using meine instead of eine. Right, so that's a little bit of a small language tidbit. What I'll do is I'll probably continue this maybe later today. I don't know. I will try though, because again, I've started and now I feel good and I've now I want to like continue. So I will see you pretty soon. We will be doing this because again, I've got like a lot of stuff to do, so I'm gonna do it. But before you leave, before you click the X button, just let me know what would you like to see on this channel, because again, I'm just like studying and live streaming it, right? But if there is something that you feel that you need or you want, let me know. Leave a comment down below, and I will do it for sure, because I just want to make it more useful for you, right? Because I know that in a class there's so many issues. Like, okay, sometimes in any group lesson, of course, lessons are tailored towards the entire group, not just you, right? So for me personally, when I was doing these lessons in class, I would get bored out of my mind and I would honestly not pay attention. I would be doing other things. Sometimes I would cook, sometimes I would read something else, like a book or something. Trust me, I know it's bad. But it was just that way. Like I just felt like in general, there's people who are a little bit slow, a little bit faster. That happens in any class, right? So for me, it was like, yeah, not very challenging, not fun in the sense, because, like, okay, out of 4 hours of lessons, we had like probably 1.5 hour or even 2 hours that was just like questions, and really simple questions too, where like at this point you can start, and like you don't have to ask the teacher, hey, what does this word mean, right? You can just Google it. It's like so simple, and you get your answer much quicker too. If it's an explanation for grammar, of course that's a different thing, but like, hey, what does Alltag mean? Come on, that's, you can just Google that. So yeah, lessons tend to, yeah, unless you're doing one-on-one lessons with someone. So I know that, often doing like a class can be a little bit understimulating, sometimes boring for some people. So I want to make this channel useful. So let me know what suggestions you have, and I absolutely will do it. Great, right? Then I'll see you pretty soon, hopefully. Until then, you can watch the other videos we have on our channel. If you are watching this anytime after 2023, there's tons of videos. So yeah, go ahead and check the playlist out, and I'll see you später. Tschüss.